Hi everyone, welcome back to Job 1 for All. In this video we are going to do a small exercise regarding association. So basically the exercise will be to create a small system that will manage seminars registration, and it should allow registering seminars, students, professors, and the place where it will be. So the requirements are: a student can have only one seminar, but the seminar can have 0 or several students. As you can see, this is a bidirectional relationship. And then a professor can minister one or several seminars. As you can see as well, there is no professor in seminar, so it means that it's only one direction from professor to seminar. And a seminar must have one place. So must have, it means that we should make sure that every time we register a seminar, there is a place. Now, the basic attributes: seminar should have title, student name and age, professor should have name and research field, and place should have address. So pretty simple exercise. I suggest you to just pause, do your own work, and check if it's correct based on what I'm going to do now. So there are several ways to do it. This is just one way. I'm not going to do what we did with keyboard because it would take some time. So I will just hard code everything. Now let's start by creating the first structure. So if we come here, we need student, seminar, professor, and place. Place is one where we need the address. So the first hint or the first tip I can give you is don't worry about the requirements right now, about the relationships. First, just the smallest step that you can have is create the classes and the basic attributes, and then you can start thinking about the relationship among all of them. So based on what I have seen here, looks like we can start with seminar because seminar don't have any relationship, so it's a good place to start. Oh, actually place, not seminar. So let's start with place. Let's create a new class here. Place. Place has one attribute, address. So for our classes, let's create constructor and getters and setters. Okay, now that we have place, let's go back to our exercise description. Now we can start with professor. We already have, or yeah, we do have professor. So we can come to professor and just add research field. And since we don't want to break the existing code, we are going to overload the constructor with both name and research field. And at here, we are going to add getters and setters for the research field variable. Cool. Now that we have place and professor, let's move on. And now we can create a student. So student name and age and seminar title. So we can create here, right click, new Java class, student, private string name, private int age, and same thing, constructors with both of them, and getters and setters. Okay, and the last one is seminar with title. Constructor and getters and setters. So basically, I just created all classes, student, seminar, professor, and place, with constructors and getters and setters. So basically just the blueprint of the exercise. Now we need to work on the relationships. So place, there is no relationship, so we can skip that one. Now professor, actually seminar, well, let's start with student. So a student can have only one seminar. Let's go back to student. So a student can have only one seminar. So we come here to student class, private seminar. So since it's only one seminar, and now I can overload the constructor, like with all of them, and then create getters and setters for seminar. Okay, so now coming back, seminar can have 0 or several students. Seminar, since it's 0 or several students. Student, wait, be careful. We have several students here. The package that we are looking for is the one that we are, G association. Student, this is an array. Same thing, we are going to overload the constructor with both title and student now, and then create getters and setters. Okay, going back to the exercise. Now, professor can minister one or several seminars, and a seminar must have one place. So professor, one or several seminars, so private seminar, seminars. Same thing, it will be the third constructor that we are overloading. Constructor, now with all options, and of course, getters and setters for seminars. And seminar, we just need now the place. So private place, place. So it's in here that we must have one place. So it means that we, in all constructors, we need to add a place. Otherwise, we will be able to create without a place. So place, place, this dot place gets the place that's coming as argument. And same thing here, we can delete, it just generate a new one with everything. So place is mandatory, but student, it's not. Of course, we are going to create getters and setters for place as well. With this, we have everything in place to get started. Looks like all the requirements are done. Now we need to test the application. So let's come here and then Java class, and we can create here exercise association test 01. Same thing, PSVM. Okay, I'm not going to use scanner, but I will write hard code everything. And the order is kind of important. Remember, we have to start slow. And if you think about all the objects that we have here, there are some that has fewer dependencies on each other. In this case, place is one of them that is not requiring any other object to be created. So we can start here by creating a place. So place needs an address. Let's create the Fifth Avenue. And now we have to decide which one we are going to create. So we have professor, we have research field seminars, we have seminar with student and place, and student with seminar. So now everybody has dependency kind of on each other, so it doesn't matter where we start. Let's start with student then. Let's go back here. So student, be careful, the package is G association. Student, new student. So if you take a look at the required parameters, we need name, age, and seminar. So we don't have seminar, but at least name and age we can have. So let's have Luffy, and the age 17. Now the next one can be seminar, because seminar we have student and we have places as well. So seminar, new seminar. So title, finding One Piece, and place will be at the place. Okay, so we can create students as well here. So since we have students, imagine that you have a system, and then it's kind of, you have to first input some data and then later on link this data. So in this case, we have a student that's already registered in the system, so we can send this student to the seminar, but it requires an array. So I'm going to create here student, an array of students, seminar students, a very descriptive name, and since we only have one student. Okay, now we are going to send the student right here because it's the second one. Actually, yeah, it's the second one. So string title, student, and then place. Seminar students. Okay, looks like the seminar is complete. Now, what we are missing? The professor. So professor, package G association, professor, new professor. Now, for the professor, we need name, research field, and then seminar. So we have all this information. Seminars again is an array. We will have to do the same as we did for student. So let's start with name. White beard, research field, pirate, and now the seminar. So let's stop here, and then I will have here the seminars. Available seminars. Let's give this name, available seminars. And then we have seminar. Now we can add here the available seminars because it has the seminar object inside. Okay, so we have all the data that we need. There is a typo here. We can press Shift F6 to refactor, and it's going to change both at the same time. We are missing the kind of the report. How do I know what is inside of what? So we could create separately all the reports, but I think we can go to professor. Professor sounds like a good candidate because we have seminars, and from seminars we can get student, and then we can get the place as well. So we can have everything that we need from professor. So after all three constructors, go down, and then public void print. So let's start with some straight lines, and now south professor name. Professor's name is this.getName or this.name. And now that we have a professors, we need to get the seminars. Remember, well, let's add here also the research field. Okay. Okay, now I have professor's name, research field. Then I would like to get the seminar. So let's make sure that we are not going to get a null pointer exception by checking if seminar is null or empty. So if seminars is null, remember, fail fast, return. If it's not, I will add here seminar. Let's create an array. Let's create a loop over this array. Now this will only happen if this is not null. Now south seminar title is seminar.get title. Control D. Happening at get place dot get address. And now we have the students. Again, the students, it's something that can bring, can throw null pointer exception if they do not exist. So we do the same check. Something interesting will happen here. Let's see. So if seminars dot get seminar, that variable right here. So seminar dot get student dot so this name is not okay. So I'm saying get student, but student is an array. So this can cause like a very bad waste of time in your code until you understand that you're not talking about one student but an array. So in this case, I'd rather refactor this. It's something that you change to improve readability or something related to performance. But in this case, I'm just going to do the following. I will select student, then I will press Shift F6, and I will rename to students. So it will ask, do you want to also change the accessor name? So it means that it will rename get student to get students. So I will just say OK, and the parameters as well. So in this case, the parameter here, I don't want to be student, I want it to be student. So I will check this. Cool. So everything now is students. We have this problem that we have to fix here. So seminar.get students. If it's null, return. So if it is not, so this is something, well, I will not just do wrong, I will do right from the beginning. Let's just finish here and I will explain why you should not use return here. So if we have students equals to null, then south. Let's give here a nice thing that we'll have on our report. Now, seminar dot get students. We know for sure that's not null, so we can press Alt Enter and iterate over the students, and then south student name student.get name, and we can also add age as well. Okay, so coming back here, return is not something that we are looking for because we are inside a for loop. So what other options do we have? We could have the break, but the problem is if student is null, but imagine that we still have like 10 seminars, but we don't have any students. If we say break, the second, third, and all the other seminars will never be displayed in the console because I'm breaking. I'm saying just finish this loop. What I want is, if I don't have any students, I don't want you to continue this code. I want you to go back to the beginning of the for loop. And then this is what we should use to achieve that. Basically, if this is true, it will just skip this line and we'll go back to the beginning of the for. So looks like we have everything that we wanted, and we can now call here professor.print. Control Shift F10. And we have here professor's name, white beard, research field pirates, seminar. It's happening, the title is Finding One Piece, happening at the 5th Avenue, and student name is Luf, age 17. So we see that Luf is the only student in this seminar. So if we add another student, student 2, this one will be Nami, and we add here as well, student 2. Control Shift F10, and we have now both students here. But something interesting will happen here. For example, if I don't pass any student, so I'm sending an array without students, basically with no data. And when I execute, look what happens. We still have this being displayed. So basically this should not be displayed. Why? Because this belongs to student. So if I add here students, look how it looks. So technically this should not be displayed, but why is being displayed? Because students is not null. In this case we have an array, so it means that we do have something in memory, but with no data. It's different than null. Null is just, it doesn't exist. Now if I debug this, you will see here seminar get students. You see that we do have an object. So in this case we need to make sure that we have also that's not empty. Basically the seminar dot get students dot length should be greater than 0. Now if we execute this again, you should not see, whoops, yeah, this is wrong, should be or. So basically if the seminar.getStudents is null, or the seminar.getStudents.length is 0, then you continue. So basically we don't have to worry about null pointer, because if this is true, this will never be evaluated. Java knows that once one of the conditions when you have or is true, everything should be considered true. Basically this will never be executed at all. So that's why we are not getting warning saying, hey, you might get a null pointer exception here. So if we execute again, now it should have the correct value. That means not displaying these 3 lines of code. Okay, so it's a quick exercise, but as you can see, it took us more than 20 minutes. And there are several other things that we should take care, and we could even improve this print method a little bit, because it's quite big. So technically, the good practice is if your method has more than, let's say, 15-20 lines, it's too many lines. You should refactor, because it's easier to read something that is small. But well, we are just getting started. We have a lot of more content to go. We are going to improve as we keep moving on. I hope you liked. See you in the next video. Bye.